In the future, it's illegal for poor people to run. The moment the man realized this, he stopped in his tracks, but it was already too late. His phone immediately flashed a warning, notifying him that he'd broken the law. He barely looked up before a police drone appeared right in front of him. After scanning and confirming Mateo's identity, the drone released a pair of silver handcuffs and ordered him to put them on within 5 seconds. Mateo tried to talk his way out of it, hoping to fool the system with a lie. But the drone analyzed his facial expressions and voice patterns and quickly determined he was lying. As Mateo kept trying to explain himself, the drone activated its stun device, ready to use force. With no other choice, Mateo reluctantly put on the handcuffs. He followed the drone to a prison, but to his surprise, the entire facility was completely empty. Following the drone's instructions, Mateo placed his personal belongings in a storage locker. Then a conveyor belt delivered a prison uniform. After changing into it, the system led him into a cell, and the heavy iron door slammed shut behind him. A large screen on the wall began playing an introduction to the prison's various services, but Mateo couldn't care less about any of that. All he wanted to know was when he'd be free again. That's when the screen displayed profiles of several lawyers. Mateo picked the one with the highest rating, only to find out that hiring them would cost $10,000. There was no way he could afford that kind of fee, so he had no choice but to go with the free public defender. The system then ran an analysis of his case, predicting an 89% chance of a guilty verdict, with an estimated sentence of 45 to 47 years. Panicked, Mateo tried to argue his innocence, but the system advised him not to waste his time and to plead guilty as soon as possible. By admitting guilt, he could potentially shave 5 to 7 years off his sentence.
Are you sure you want to plead guilty? Please repeat the words, plead guilty,
No.
to confirm your decision.
No, I'm not guilty.
At that moment, Mateo nearly broke down. He felt like the entire justice system was designed to force him into a confession. Determined to prove his innocence, he demanded to confront the witnesses and tried switching to a human representative by contacting the local police department. But just then, the screen popped up a massive wall of complex terms and conditions. Mateo didn't have the patience to read through any of it and hit agree right away. The call went through, but on the other end was nothing but a cold AI customer service agent. The system informed him that to be transferred to a human representative, he'd need to wait. So Mateo waited for 3 full hours. He'd actually dozed off when a notification sound startled him awake. But when he picked up the phone, he discovered the call had already been disconnected by the system. Then the screen displayed a notice showing that his account balance had been completely drained. It turned out every call in this place was a paid service, charged at $3 per minute. Mateo furiously confronted the system, calling it a total scam, but the system immediately pulled up the agreement he'd just signed. And sure enough, the terms clearly stated a rate of $3 per minute. Seeing this, Mateo sank into complete despair. He screamed and raged inside his cell, cursing the whole rigged system, but the system offered no response. When he finally wore himself out and collapsed onto the bed to rest, the system asked if he'd like the lights turned off. To his utter disbelief, even that came with a fee. With no money left, Mateo could only lie there in silence and endure it. The next day, the system introduced him to the prison's various services and explained that even behind bars, he could earn wages through labor. Mateo chose manual work, and soon a box full of materials was delivered to his cell. Following a tutorial, he started learning how to knit sweaters. With nothing else to do all day,